Fans are eagerly awaiting the renewal of Season 2 of the Berlin series. Here is what we know about the long-anticipated follow-up to Berlin on Netflix. The new show Berlin was a hit on Netflix, but there's no official news if it will get a second season yet. People liked it a lot, and the people who made it seem positive about more episodes, so there's a chance. We'll have to wait and see what Netflix decides. Berlin was a brand new show on Netflix aired in 2023, starring the actor from Money Heist who played the bad guy named Berlin. The story takes place before the events of Money Heist and tells the story of how Berlin started doing heists with a whole new crew. The official synopsis of Berlin reads, "During his glory days, Berlin and a gang assembled in Paris for one of his greatest plans ever, stealing 44 million euros worth of jewels in one night." Berlin Season 1 featured Pedro Alonso, Michelle Jenner, and Tristan Olua, and the show was created by Esther Martinez Lobato and Alex Pina. Berlin Season 1 arrived on Netflix worldwide on December 29, 2023. All 8 episodes dropped at once, perfect for a holiday binge. As of February 2024, Berlin isn't confirmed for a second season yet, but it seems likely. It is because Berlin Season 1 performed really well on Netflix, reaching the top 10 list. The show wasn't advertised as a one-time thing, and the ending hints at more story. So, based on how many people watched it, there's a good chance we'll see Berlin again. But we still have to wait for Netflix to make it official. Speaking to a UK trade magazine, Alex Pina shared how the main Money Heist series may make a comeback in some or other form. "We stopped shooting Money Heist in its 5th season when the series was at its peak. We decided not to do another part at that time or a new heist, and we really made that decision because the series was at its peak. The 5th season got the highest rating of them all, so it'd have been very easy to shoot season 6 and 7. But we chose not to do them at that point to stop the franchise and instead come back with a spin-off. It is now a good time to find out if the audience still wants it, and whatever happens will have an important effect on our growth." Even though the heist almost went wrong, everyone escaped in the last episode, an endangered elephant, some barely made it, but they're all free. Camille got a bigger cut of the money and drove off happy. Berlin, though a bit hurt by his losses, is already planning his next heist with Damien. Sounds like trouble is brewing again. Official Netflix synopsis: 8 thieves take hostages and lock themselves in the Royal Mint of Spain as a criminal mastermind manipulates the police to carry out his plan. Highlighting about Berlin, a new show on Netflix tells the story of the character Berlin from Money Heist before the big bank robbery. It's like a flashback showing what he did before joining the famous crew. Critics had mixed feelings about the show, some saying it wasn't as good as Money Heist. Want to know how Berlin Season 1 was developed? Well, the Berlin show was in the works for a while. Netflix announced a spin-off series about the character Berlin from Money Heist in late November 2021. In September 2022, more actors were announced to join the show, including some familiar faces from Money Heist like Raquel and Alicia. Filming started in October 2022 in Paris and Madrid and wrapped up in early 2023. The creators wanted this show to be more comedic than Money Heist, with more actors and locations. They even filmed it in a wider format to make the scenery more immersive for viewers. The show premiered on Netflix in December 2023 and has received mixed reviews, with some critics saying it didn't live up to the hype of the original Money Heist. Didn't know much about Money Heist? Don't worry, here's the plot. A gang of colorful criminals, led by the mysterious professor, plan the ultimate heist, stealing billions from Spain's royal mint. With disguises, cunning plans, and explosive action, they try to pull it off, all while hiding their identities and building an unlikely bomb. So, what went wrong with Berlin Season 1? Let's find out how critics panned the series and why. According to critics and negative reviews, the show seems to want us to like the character Berlin, even though he messes up his plans and doesn't seem to care much. He even uses people, like his girlfriend. It would be okay if the show showed how difficult it is to deal with someone like Berlin, but it doesn't do that. It just tries to make him look cool. So, some people who watched the show didn't like how it seemed to glorify a character who isn't really all that of a good person. For example, in the Berlin show, one romance starts creepily. A guy keeps bothering a woman who clearly doesn't want him, making inappropriate comments and getting uncomfortably close. The show even presents this as a normal flirting technique and tries to justify it by saying it's okay if the woman eventually softens up or if she's playing hard to get. This rubbed a lot of viewers the wrong way, as it made light of inappropriate behavior and even encouraged it. Many female characters are shown as easily manipulated and unable to resist men, making choices driven by emotions rather than logic. The show uses terms like misogyny and sexism, but some viewers feel it doesn't actually challenge these issues. Even when women discuss their struggles with men, they turn to other women for support, implying a limited perspective. While some female characters introduced later in the show might offer more nuance, the overall portrayal remains problematic. Like Money Heist, Berlin prioritizes cool-looking moments over making sense. This leads to unrealistic scenes like escaping motorcycles on foot or characters and objects vanishing without explanation. There are even nonsensical things like women riding cars while holding reins. Seriously? So, some viewers felt the show sacrificed logic for flashy moments, making it confusing and unbelievable at times. Let's tell you what we guess will happen in Season 2 of the Berlin series. Remember, this is purely guesswork, and there is no official confirmation on any of these ideas. So, here we discuss the next season's possible plots. Berlin and his crew could pull off a heist in a new city, maybe Singapore or even Berlin itself. Imagine new cultures, new challenges, and a whole new crew with unique skills. Season 1 left some things hanging, like what happened to Camille and will Alicia Sierra come back? Maybe Season 2 shows the consequences of their actions, unexpected alliances, or even betrayals. We saw glimpses of Berlin's younger days, including his brother, the professor. Season 2 could dive deeper, showing how he became who he is, or even connect his backstory to Money Heist. Remember those hints to Money Heist in Season 1? Season 2 could have cameos from characters like the professor, and flashbacks explaining how their stories connect, but it would have to stay focused on Berlin. Maybe Season 2 shows Berlin learning from his mistakes. After seeing the trouble his recklessness caused, will he become more thoughtful? It could be interesting to see him change. Season 1 focused on Berlin, but what about the others? Season 2 could explore Palermo, Tatiana, or Kila's pasts and reasons for joining Berlin. They deserve some spotlight. Season 1 balanced jokes with dark themes. Season 2 could do the same, keeping things fun without ignoring the consequences of their actions. People like the cool visuals and camera work in Season 1. Season 2 could keep that style, exploring new locations and heists in a visually exciting way. Some people said Season 1 had unrealistic parts and female characters weren't strong enough. Season 2 could fix that by making the story more believable and giving the women more chances to show their skills and smarts. If you haven't watched Berlin 1 yet, well, you can stream the episodes on Netflix in the US. Berlin, a spin-off of Money Heist, takes us back to the wild days of the character Berlin before making the Big Bang heist. He leads a new crew on a daring jewelry heist in Paris, but things don't go smoothly. Berlin's impulsive nature and troubled past cause chaos, and the lines between love, betrayal, and danger blur. Prepare for action, dark humor, and a glimpse into Berlin's twisted mind, all wrapped up in 8 exciting episodes. If you want to see Berlin make a comeback with a second season, then let us know in the comments section below. If you liked watching our video, click on like and subscribe to our channel for further updates.